Welcome race fans to the Integrity Racing League here on PTRTV on LSRTV. We are in the booth completely caught off guard here. The race is going off a little bit early, so apologize for the late start or the early start, but regards to that, we just took the green flag. So tonight is going to be Corey Silva and Brandon Kreutz giving you the calls, but Brandon Kreutz is still getting himself loaded in here. Again, we are starting early, unknown to us till just now. So right now, lap number 1 just being completed, coming off of corner number 4 here at Daytona. 80 laps here tonight in the daytime for the Integrity Racing League. Lap 1 will go to Caleb Eisenhower. Again, we are the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup cars. We are doing 80 laps here. It is the FastLane Racing 200 here tonight. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Again, we are a little behind here. Well, is that him right here? But Brandon will pop in when he is loaded in, but here we go racing down the back straightaway here at Daytona. Top 3 have gone single file. Some drivers in the back of the pack getting themselves to the back of the field. You can see the 18 machine of Cody Smith getting all the way to the back there, maybe trying to get out of the eye of the storm. But given how these NASCAR Cup machines do race, you can see a lot of single file racing forming already. Outside with Tom Wetmore in 9th is trying to get something going there, but not much help. Just has Carson Bechtel with him. Look at the weather conditions tonight. We are again trying to catch up from behind here. 78 degrees in the air, 104 on the track, 2-mile-an-hour wind. Nothing to be concerned about there. Your points leader, Adam de Blasio, who's dominating the season after his win again last week at Chicagoland, which we were not able to cover for you. He's in 6th, up by over 170 points in the standings. But here we come on the back straightaway here as we still are getting ourselves situated here. So apologies for a little bit of shakiness in the booth here. We are doing our best to get situated right now, but right now we still have a single file racing up until about the 8th position. That is James Hudson in the 8th position. The outside line now being led by the number 28 of Lee Pierce. Has about 10 drivers behind him at the moment on that top side, and then he is trying his best, but it's just really hard. These Cup cars do not like to draft in the way that the Xfinity cars and the trucks do, so it's really hard to get those runs, hard to get that 2 and 3 wide racing going. So it's really going to have to be well thought out moves, well timed moves, and maximizing that draft. So lap number 5 has been completed here, or soon to be completed. Caleb Eisenhower, who started the race from the pole and has led all 5 laps. Caution on the speedway already. Trying to see what the cause of it is. Don't see anything overly eminent anywhere on the racetrack. And I don't see any incidents. I don't see any wrecks. So not sure what the cause of the caution was. Oh, being told it was a competition caution. We have our behind-the-scenes guy, Joe Chris, just getting the call from race control that competition caution is the call on the speedway right now. Not sure if there was people thrown off by the start or not, maybe making the grid, but regardless of that, whether that was the case or not, caution is on the speedway right now, so these guys will get stacked up behind the iRacing.com pace car. Yep, and appears that was the call, as I kind of predicted. Drivers getting caught up from the grid, drivers having some connection problems getting into the race, so allowing all these drivers to get stacked up and have an even shot, a fair shot at staying with the pack. See if we have pit stops No pit stops of anybody in the top 5. See, looks like go back to Tom Wetmore in the 42. He'll be the first one leading us down pit road. So we're up front right now. Caleb Eisenhower, Joseph Tice, Brandon Kirkman, William Dunn, Colton Landis is the top 5 right now. Adam de Blasio in 6th, Justin Roden in 7th, Lee Pierce in 8th, James Hudson in 9th, and Samuel Nadeau is your top 10 right now. And while we have the opportunity to, now that we can kind of get ourselves back onto a normal frame of mind after, again, we started the race about 5 minutes earlier than anticipated, so that threw us a curveball, so we didn't get to give you the pre-race show, so I do apologize for that, but we're here bringing you coverage here live, PTRTV on LSRTV. A little rundown of your points at the moment. Adam de Blasio is absolutely spanking the competition in the season right now. This is the 18th race after 17 races. He is up by 168 points right now over William Dunn. But from there on out, it's actually a pretty good race. We have William Dunn, he's 168 back. Don Stevenson, 170 back. Guillermo Alvarez is 206. Jacob Fife, 225 back. And then from pretty much from 4th all the way back till 15th, separated by less than 100 points. So, to be honest, if you omit the fact that de Blasio is just spanking the competition, it's a lot to race for, a lot of positions that you can gain in the standings. And obviously we are closing in on the chase, on the playoffs. We are on the halfway point of the season. Obviously we are going to be racing until race number 26, get these drivers situated for their playoff brackets for their race to the championship, which will be covered all here on PTRTV on LSRTV. But we are on 1 to go right now. So Eisenhower will get doubled up to the inside with the number 25 of Joseph Tice to the outside. That will be the start here tonight for the restart number 1. Again, this was a competition caution, giving everybody the opportunity to get stacked up and situated and caught back up after what was a little bit of an unexpected start to the race. So you can kind of call it the initial start of the race, the true start of the race. But obviously we have already completed 8 laps. All have gone to the number 51. We'll see what happens here. This is going to be the best chance to gain positions. Once these guys are in double file formation, it is possible to get these various grooves working. You can get that top working, you can get a run, you can take the lead on the top, but if these guys get single file, breaking that single file train is a very difficult task. So these guys really have to maximize while they have the opportunity to right now to gain these positions. So here we come off of corner number 4 at the World Center of Racing at Daytona International Speedway. Caleb Eisenhower, the control car on this start, and already on the loud pedal, green flag in the air. We are back racing here tonight. He gets the jump, the inside lane not formed at all. Brandon Kirkman in the 5 was significantly far back there, so that caused a huge lack of momentum on the inside lane, but it allowed the 25 and the 43, and we're wrecking already. Huge carnage here. Tom Wetmore involved, the 28, a whole bunch of others involved here on this restart wreck at Daytona. We'll see what happened here. We saw a little bit of stuff going on that initial start. Go back and try to find the actual cause of it. I know it was based around the 43 and actually the 28 machine did not get going. And that caused that. That was Lee Pierce. Let's go back a little bit further and try to get this a little bit better on camera. See Lee Pierce on that 28 on the high groove. Something happened to him, and the 45 of Samuel Nadeau just pounded him in the rear bumper. I don't know if he missed a shift or what. I mean, I'd assume that's what it was, but you can see the carnage that ensued off of that incident. So again, under the caution again. I was expected to have my partner Brandon Kreutz in the booth with me tonight, but he is having some technical issues himself tonight with microphone and voice chat. So for the time being, it is Corey Silva giving you the one and only calls here tonight. So hopefully we can get some help in the booth. But where we are under the second caution of the race, we are going to just step away for a brief moment and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with you for the restart. So stay with us, please.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. That was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it, and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 you know, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser